So I'm going from the art house straight to the trailer park. Oh boy. What is happening, subs, stalkers, and freaks, and welcome back to Dead Jester Circus. 31 is a movie I've heard a lot of mixed shit about. It seems like typical Rob Zombie. You either really like it or you really hate it. So I figured I would check this movie out and see what it's all about. And what it's about ain't fucking good.
Tonight, we are going to play 31.
And all you have to do is survive 12 hours of our own private hell.
Right off the bat, let me say that at the beginning of this movie, when we're introduced to these characters, there's this group of traveling circus people, whatever the hell they're supposed to be. You know, we're only like 5-10 minutes in, and I'm already annoyed with all of them. And that's kind of born out of the typical failures of Rob Zombie's writing. And that's he just can't write normal people. They're all like to this nth degree of just disgusting, trashy, raunchy. I guess in his warped view of the world, that's how everybody talks, because that's how he writes all his fucking characters.
You digging what you see, Pops?
I reckon I do.
Your prehistoric ticker couldn't survive the ride.
Sucky,
Sucky, sucky.
fucky,
Fucky, fucky.
Juicy, juicy, juicy. Money, money, money.
Stop it. Get some help.
And not long after this opening, we are actually thrown right into the main part of this movie where these people get kidnapped, but we don't get any real like character depth with these people. So when these people are going through this shit, when they get kidnapped and, you know, they're fighting for their lives, what's my reason for wanting to root for them? What's my reason for caring for them? There is none. Everything is so superficially just laid out that when they get kidnapped and they're in those moments, I don't care. And especially if I'm already annoyed with them from the first 5 minutes in the movie. By the way they get kidnapped is so freaking stupid. They just drive up in their van to the middle of the road and there's just scarecrows there. Now, number one, any regular sane person would probably slow down, assess the situation, and then just drive around it. But these dumb hicks get out of their van and they go up to the scarecrows, then all of a sudden they're jumped. Just the level of stupidity in the actions is just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. And also, didn't Rob Zombie use this scarecrow kidnapping sort of thing from House of a Thousand Corpses? So I guess he's just now ripping off his own shit? And whether it's intentional or not, at the end of this movie, he rips off the theme to The Fog. And at the beginning of this movie, with the very opening shot, kind of looks like another movie that I'm very familiar with.
Hey guys, I'm Hackerman.
I'm not here to brighten your dismal day. I am here to end your miserable life.
And I do like how each of the killer clowns has their own kind of unique personality, but the real shining star out of all of them, and probably the whole movie, is Richard Brake as Doomhead. He's not in it for very long, but when he's on screen, he has such a presence.
What is it about me that gives you some impression that I would spare them? Huh? Huh? Because if that's the case, then I've really got to work on my person-to-person demeanor.
He's just such a great character actor, and he's very underrated and very underappreciated. And I wish this guy would get more mainstream work than what he does, because I just think he's terrific. And I know I shit on Rob Zombie before about his writing, but the one thing I will give him credit for, and I've always given him credit for, was as a director, visually, he is on point. He knows his shit when it comes to visuals. But the one thing that pisses me off about this movie, it's when he shakes the goddamn camera so much that you can't tell what the hell is going on. I mean, there are scenes in this movie where it looks like the cameraman is going into a goddamn seizure. Like the scene has been thrown into a blender. You can't tell who is who, where they're at. I think it's a crutch that he just sits on, and it's annoying. And it gives you a headache watching the movie. At least it did for me.
You know, all in all, you've had a pretty good run. Deep down inside, you must have known.
You digging what you see, Pops?
I reckon I do.
It all had to end somewhere. Might as well be now.
I'm skipping over a large part of this movie in the middle because a lot of it is really kind of boring, and I'm just going to skip to the end. There are times when an ambiguous ending works, and there are times when it doesn't. This is one of those situations where it doesn't. Personally, I like when stories are wrapped up. Whatever it is, whether it's a happy ending or a downer ending, just give me an ending. Don't leave it open. If you're gonna string me along throughout the whole story and then just pull the rug out from underneath me at the end and be like, well, it's up for your interpretation, what happens? That is a fucking cop-out. So for Rob to drag us through this 100-minute hell ride of just white trash and vile, disgusting people and shitty writing and shitty storytelling, only to get to the very end and have this standoff moment between Sherry Moon and Doomhead and then cut to black? What the fuck? It's just real fucking cheap. Look, Rob, this isn't Inception. You are not Christopher Nolan. Just grow some goddamn balls and just end the story. Fuck it, let's just go to the wing scale. I was initially going to give this movie a mild and medium, but after sitting through this review that I've been doing and doing this recording, I'm dropping this sucker down to a raw. This isn't one of those movies that stuck with me after watching it like The Devil's Rejects or The Lords of Salem did. I just really felt like it was a chore to sit through this and watch it. It had great atmosphere, great visuals, some funny moments, and some delicious gore. But as is with most Rob Zombie films, the failures lie in the writing, and this movie is just barely competent on that regard. I personally would challenge Rob, not like he's ever gonna watch this or anything, but to break out of that white trash comfort zone that he likes to write in, and not write characters that are so trashy and pointlessly raunchy and disgusting, whether that's through their appearance, their actions, or their dialogue. Because his visual acumen is outstanding, but his writing is just so juvenile. I wish he would bring in a separate writer to come in to filter his ideas through, because he does have some really interesting ideas and concepts, but his writing fails them every single time. And I wish he could just handcuff his ego off of that and bring somebody else in, let them flesh out his ideas. Because right now, without it, God, I think he's just wasted potential. Anyway, that was my look into 31. What a pile of shit it was. But as always, like, comment, and subscribe right below. Adios, and GTFO.